Maddie, how's your day been?
You know what? I've had an up and down day, to be honest,
Why?
Tom. Got locked out of Spotify for a good hour. That brought me back down to earth. Had a donut to celebrate getting back in though. So
Why'd you get locked out?
didn't put the password in the password book. Schoolboy.
God, thrilling day.
Thrilling
Rookie.
day.
How's your day been, Jeff?
Yeah, really good, mate.
Tom?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. I feel like we're back in the flow.
Why is that?
Just you were off the other week, weren't you? Jeff and I tried to do a podcast on our own. It didn't go very well.
Didn't it?
Did it?
Best one yet, Jeff said.
That was my best one, yeah. Why didn't it go very well?
No, I'm joking. Did it was great. Loved it. Should do it more often.
I thought it was good.
Right, what are we talking about?
The reason why it was good is because we knew what we were talking about.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something mean then, but thanks for not.
Yeah, no, it's better when you're here. Come on then, Maddie, introduce us.
Well, I thought today we could talk about content marketing. I thought we could have a little convo about the different types of content marketing, why as a business you should have a clear strategy for what content marketing you want to put out, because it should be different for each business, the reasons why, and just a few fun examples
Sounds good.
of successful campaigns.
What's content marketing then? How would you define that?
Well, content marketing is a type of marketing that involves the creation and sharing of online material. So it's like videos, blogs, social media posts and it doesn't explicitly promote a brand, but it's intended to stimulate interest in its product or services.
Nice.
Straight from Google.
Straight from Google. From the horse's mouth.
How do you define it without a proper definition in front of you?
I would just say it's all the stuff that you put out, everything that you promote that's out there on the big wide web. That's your content marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree. We actually got a question recently, like, do you think you can put out too much content? I know somebody said to me, they're like, do you feel like you're putting out too much content? Because we put out a lot of content. I won't name drop, I'll tell you later. But I just don't think, I don't know, can you put out too much? Like if it's actually reasonably valuable and actually, something that at least somebody would find interested in, can you put out too much?
I think it depends on what you're doing with the content, like what you're trying to get out from it. So for example, I listened to a podcast the other day with Jamie Lang, and I can't remember her name, but she's the founder of the Good Quote Instagram page.
Right.
Have you seen that?
I have, yeah.
And
love quotes.
She posted every hour for 24 hours for the first 5 years to build that Instagram page. And that's how it's got as many followers as it has.
Say that again.
Every hour for 24 hours for 5 years. And she
Flipping
did that
fair
before
play.
there was like scheduling tools. So she would put an alarm on every hour.
How many is that? A year?
Don't know, but they did work it out. And
I'm just trying to think,
Don't know
what are the...
That's my
I think we all like the big social guys and girls. They always say, don't they, just post regularly, post as much as you can. If it's good value content. I don't think there's such a thing as too much value add, is there? But at the same time, if it is just getting all a bit cloggy and, sometimes, you don't perceive it to add value, it can just get a little bit annoying. So it's difficult, isn't it? Like where is the balance
But
there?
then if somebody doesn't see the value in the content, then that's not the audience
for
then you're
them.
targeting.
Yeah.
You could argue.
8,760 pieces of content per year. Times by 5, 43,800 posts.
And this lady,
Damn.
I need to remember her name, but I can't. Anyway, she's now got an agency, and she she signs people like Stephen Bartlett and things and helps them promote their communities.
Nice.
So she knows what she's talking about.
Nice.
But, I mean, from a personal point of view, I post quite a lot on LinkedIn. It's not necessarily like really good stuff, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, it's stuff that we put out like here, but some of mine, quite a lot of it is quite quick, short and sharp, that sort of thing. And I do actually get really good views from that.
Yeah.
I do get good impressions. But maybe are we thinking too much about impressions rather than actual, results and like value add?
No, I don't think we are, because interestingly, we had a Google Search Console sends through a like a summary of like your last 30 days in terms of like pages that have had the most visits. And like our top page was an article that Maddie had written about employer branding. And then the second best result was your About Us page.
Wow.
So like your people are going to your page.
Enjoy that.
Viral.
Yeah. It was only 5.
6 people.
Yeah. No, it's quite a few, but it says to me that you probably put out the most content of all of us. You get the most impressions out of all of us, and your page is getting the most hits out of all of us.
Yeah. Because I personally don't promote your page, like on the Konker pages. No. So people are having to search for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's interesting. Anyway, what type of content marketing, like what makes up content marketing? What different types are there?
Well, what do we do first of all?
Video, blogs / articles, just posts, social posts. Is that one?
Yeah.
Podcasts.
Yeah. Check.
Did you say email marketing? Sorry.
No, email marketing. TV ads, radio ads, billboards.
TikTok.
Social
that's
media.
Platform. Newspaper.
Yeah, nice. So here's a list of stuff that I've got. Blogging, you said blogging, obviously video content, social media content, ebooks and white papers. I think that's actually a really interesting one. Like a white paper for us would be like a salary survey that we run. So obviously very recruitment specific, just general infographics. So about stats, graphs, percentages, podcasts, webinars and online events. It's actually quite a nice one. Email newsletters, case studies, user generated content. And we'll go on to that more later. Interactive content. So an example could be like a quiz or a poll. Influencer marketing, contests and giveaways, and then customer testimonials and reviews. So a nice long list there, isn't there? There's literally so many different things that you could be doing. And really, like most businesses could probably do all of those.
I think it's really interesting as well, because sometimes I think people think marketing that you have to just promote the product or the service, and actually like there's things in there that I wouldn't really think about as content marketing, like a testimonial, for example, but it is. And a little stat is 74% of companies say that content marketing has proven effective in boosting lead generation. So a lot of like, I've got some examples, and a lot of the examples that I found, they're not even directly talking about the brand or the product or the service. They're talking about how people feel from using the product or the service.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think people forget that you don't have to just promote what it actually is that you're trying to sell.
Yeah, got you.
Through that. Why do you think brands have different marketing strategies and they advertise differently? Because the content that we put out is very different to another recruitment company in Exeter, for example.
I think their markets are probably in different places. I think that's quite a big one. I think there's a few different reasons in their markets. You know, their target market are in different places. And it actually depends on what their target market looks like. Because if you're trying to speak to a younger generation, you're going to, go out there and target them in a completely different fashion to the older generation.
Yeah.
How else?
I think exactly like you said, I would say the main reason is because the different brands have different audiences, and you've got to kind of create a specific piece of content towards that target audience to make it relevant. And what an example that I really like, which I'm sure you guys would have seen, Aldi do reactive marketing really well. And this all started back when M&S and Aldi were in a legal battle over Colin the Caterpillar and Cuthbert. Anyway, they were posting things like Cuthbert has been found guilty ... of being delicious on Twitter. And through these posts, they've had over 75,000 likes on average around the legal battle. And at the moment, they're doing a lot of reactive marketing, especially today around the Olympics. And that's because the Romanian uniform, is it uniform?
We would call it uniform.
Kit.
Stash.
Romanian kit are the same colours as the Lidl's branding. So there's a picture of one of the Romanian gymnasts in her leotard, and Aldi have posted on X, with the caption, "You look great tonight, babe," and added Lidl.
Nice.
And everybody's been loving it.
I sometimes wonder with them as well if like they're sort of setting each other up, aren't they? They've almost like, because they go back and forth now.
Yeah.
And like Ryanair are doing the same thing as well.
They're doing Audi, sorry.
Yeah, Lidl and Audi will go back and forth, and then like Ryanair are doing the same sort of stuff as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
With everything they put out.
It's such good marketing to be able to do that, isn't it? It's quite like almost a bit sensationalist between two, because you think, oh God, what are they going to say now?
I wonder how much that actually affects the bottom line for them.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
Because I struggle to see it making much of an impact to a certain extent, but then it's just awareness. It's just brand,
It's just brand awareness, yeah. And they're being so specific, because I think that type of marketing is aimed at the younger generation, like millennials and Gen Z.
Jay-Z. He's bloody good for it, is.
Jay-Z loves Audi.
Anyway, Audi's doing great stuff, so a little. And I don't know if you saw, just again, another reactive marketing campaign, but not as funny, is Mercedes-Benz have took a screenshot of Simone Biles, and it's when she's in the air with her ribbon, and she's literally making the exact same shape as the Mercedes-Benz logo.
Oh, really? Clever.
And they have they've like screenshotted it and put their
that was really
logo
clever.
on it.
That was really, really clever. That's what I saw this.
So how can smaller brands or smaller businesses use reactive marketing?
Well, great question. And I think you have to have a brand, first of all, don't you? You have to have some sort of like awareness and some sort of like
something that you're known for.
Something you're known for, like almost like some sort of stamp of who you are, sort of thing. Either what you stand for, or like your logo, your brand, that sort of thing. Colours. So what would ours be? The K.
The K. Yeah. Well, I guess the way that we do a lot of reactive marketing is we piggyback off trends. So, for example, I don't know if anybody saw the, of course, I work in a office, ... We jumped on that and we went viral.
But it's really difficult to do this reactive marketing because you got to be clever, haven't you? It's really quite clever stuff.
You've got to be on your socials all the time.
Yeah, and that's where like the next generation, Gen Z, they're the ones that are always on the socials. They're in front of these trends, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know if this is reactive marketing, but it's a great case study because I thought it was so clever. Did you see the Spencer and Mark Wright campaign?
That was
did you
good.
see that?
I did, yeah.
The M&S?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was amazing. That was actually Spencer's idea as well.
Oh, was it?
He was the one that sort of went to Marks and Spencer's and said, we could do an ad, me and Mark.
Yeah.
And like put it out there, blah, blah, blah.
That's brilliant.
And made it happen. Is that reactive?
Well, what's reactive about it is, I don't know if you've seen, but then Matalan have put out a similar video with a guy called Matt and a guy called Alan as the people that work in their stores. So that's reactive of what's happened. But loads of people did that, and then Lidl put out a post being like, we can't find anybody called Lil and Dill, so we're not doing it.
I thought that was so funny. That's such creative stuff, isn't it?
We need to start doing more reactive marketing, don't we? We've never think of anything like that.
It's so hard, I think.
It is. Well,
maybe not for it's not something I could do. I feel like I could do.
I think we try. We do our bit.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of some more really good reactive marketers. Is maybe Ryanair, are they good at reactive marketing, or is that just they play upon what their perception of themselves is?
Yeah, I think it's more that.
Yeah, it's not reactive so much, is it?
No.
But I suppose initially when they started having that reputation for being that budget airline, and the no windows and all this sort of stuff, that would have been reactive to that at the time.
Yeah.
But they've almost sort of carried it on quite nicely now, haven't they?
Yeah. Another example that I thought was pretty cool is Spotify Wrapped. When that comes out at Christmas?
Everyone loves
They're using their data in a marketing campaign, and it's just the idea that users get fun facts about their last year of listening on the platform. And it's just a personalised way to kind of reach out to your audience. And it goes viral every single year it goes out, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And then people do reactive marketing campaigns off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like an event. So I've just looked here. So some of the best reactive marketing campaigns for the Euros 2020. So like Weetabix, they had theirs because this was the women's Euros. And they obviously won. It was, this is good, Sainsbury's, They had a billboard, "Sing It for the Lionesses," with a picture of a Swede, a carrot, and a lime. And it said, "Sing it for the Lionesses," a picture of a Swede, a carrot, and a lime. I'll show you it. You might need the visual. Sing it. Come on, Jev.
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
Very good. Do you know what? I've seen that and somehow I didn't remember it. That is good, isn't it? That is funny.
That's good.
Is that Sainsbury's?
That was Sainsbury's. Why are supermarkets so good at this?
You could employ somebody to be a reactive marketer.
Oh, this is good from the Royal Mail. It's a...
and you'd fly.
It's a package with home written on it.
Oh, that is good.
That's funny.
That's clever. One for the camera.
Football's coming home. Yeah, I like that.
Nice. So you need to base it around like an event, don't you? Which the Olympics is prime example, isn't it? There's like so much going on in the Olympics. Are you loving the Olympics, by the way? Loving the Olympics right now.
Yeah.
It's become a part of my personality.
What, the Olympics?
Yeah.
In what way?
Just
what's your event?
Just love like everything about it. Like Snoop Dogg, I'm finding Snoop Dogg hilarious at the moment.
Good bit of reactive marketing, is it?
Yeah,
he's all over it.
He's putting him. He's
putting a shift in.
This was I think there might have been a post that you liked this morning. He's really like the ambassador for the Olympics at the moment, isn't he? Like he is marketing himself, but pushing the Olympics at the same time to like completely different audiences, with him rocking up in bloody droppers and a bloody riding hat. How funny is that? It's so good.
It's so good. Love it.
Right, let's see if we can do something tomorrow. A reactive piece of marketing based off the Olympics.
Yeah. Okay.
What's a topical thing that's happened in the Olympics? What's just happened?
Well,
I don't know. Loads. Josh Kerr lost.
I was trying to think second. Of that,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll do some research and then we'll put it out and then we'll link it to the pod and see what we come up with.
Yeah.
See how good we are.
Nike are quite good at reactive marketing, are they not? They're pretty good at jumping on board with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe not in such an immediate way though.
No, I can't really think of anybody else.
Should we talk about content marketing again?
Yeah, keep it moving.
Well, I've just got some more examples. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, go on.
I'd love to.
Duolingo, TikTok. Two pieces. Well, I think Duolingo and TikTok wouldn't necessarily put them together because obviously Duolingo is a learning platform to discover different languages. But it is actually well known for its humorous content on TikTok. So instead of putting out videos, pieces of content on, Spanish or French, they're actually capitalizing on trending topics and memes. So they use their green owl mascot a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And they get the owl mascot to do different pieces of funny challenges and stuff that are trending. And they do this because they think that nobody wants to follow the brand just because of the self-promotion content. So they try and showcase brand assets and values in a more authentic way. And I also think that Duolingo, correct me if I'm wrong, I would say it's more of like an older generation platform. And maybe by going through TikTok, they're trying to target a different audience.
I don't know. Yeah, my nephew has Duolingo. He's 11 and he's on TikTok all the time. So I wonder if that's where he's found Duolingo from.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Duolingo is an older platform. It's quite similar to all the other apps, isn't it?
Well,
I'll tell you an old one, Rosetta Stone. That's a throwback.
Don't even know what that is. It's so old.
There you
go. Another example?
I got an example for you. So earlier on, I rattled through like 15 different types of sort of content marketing strategies or types of content that could fall into content marketing. And one of them was user-generated content. So a nice description is just encouraging customers to create and share their own content featuring the brand. Because if you can get your customers to create content featuring the brand, it's just so much more authentic. So a company that does this really well that everyone will know is GoPro. So GoPro has a user-generated content strategy, and that relies heavily on that as well. It's a big part of all of their marketing. So the company encourages its users to share their footage and photos captured with GoPro cameras. By showcasing authentic, real-life experiences, GoPro effectively demonstrates the capabilities of its products and builds a strong community around its brand. So there's a few sort of key elements to the campaigns that it runs. It's got photo and video of the day. So GoPro curates and shares the best user-submitted photos and videos on its social media channels and website.
That's cool.
So it's like a daily feature that goes out there. Hashtag campaigns. So GoPro uses hashtags, just hashtag GoPro and hashtag GoPro awards to collect and categorize user content. Just really easy for people to participate and actually upload their content and get it categorized nicely. And then the GoPro Awards. So GoPro Awards program rewards users with cash prizes and free gear for their exceptional footage and photos. And then just community engagement. So it actively engages with community through comments, likes, shares on social media. So the results of that, obviously, its user-generated content strategy has boosted its brand visibility and engagement. The authentic and diverse content from users helps potential customers see the practical applications and quality of GoPro products. And then it's just really built a loyal and enthusiastic community around the brand that continuously promote it. So yeah, genius.
It is, because why wouldn't anybody that's creating content, why wouldn't they not want GoPro to share it? That's exactly who they want to be able to.
Exactly. It'd be such a buzz, wasn't it? If you do a sport or an activity and you post that online, then it gets reshared by GoPro and it's out there on, I don't know how many followers GoPro's like Instagram got, for example, but I bet it's a big number, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of people say that UCGs are actually more influential than the celebrity influencers nowadays. Because
UCGs?
User-generated content.
Creators, user-generated creators, I think, when they're
right, okay.
like that. They're more influential than the celebrity influencers because they're more authentic, like Tom just said, and they add more value, and they think that they'll speak more truly about the brand because they're not getting paid as much as the influencers.
Yeah, there's no ulterior motive there, is there?
No.
It's so clever, that sort of stuff with GoPro, because it's like an unlimited amount of content for them.
It's genius.
Yeah.
Where they don't have to do any thinking behind that. They share it to their story.
Yeah.
People want their stuff to go viral and be shared to their story.
Guess how many Instagram followers GoPro's got?
Whoa.
50 mil?
The Instagram followers? Well, I don't know, really. 100 mil?
Nah, 20 million. Both overshot.
Nothing.
Yes, nothing. You've got 500 plus.
But like you scroll through there and the content on there is like unbelievable. And it's great. Like you can tell that some of it is just quite rudimentary. It's not been like really massively over edited. There's quite a lot of like raw footage in there. Some of it, you know, there's loads of production that feels like it's gone into it, or post-production of people putting in loads of effort to editing it. But
it's an unlimited stream of content, isn't it?
And it's also different. Like it's surfing, mountain biking.
Maybe we should try and get a piece of content up there with our GoPro.
We have got 2 GoPros
Which one?
in the cupboard. But I guess the thing that's hard with that for, you know, relevant small businesses, how could they create user-generated content? It isn't, is it? Because one of the things I thought of straight away for user-generated content was Scrub Daddy. Like that is a big thing for their content, is just people using a Scrub Daddy and being like, oh my God, how good is this?
Yeah.
Sponge.
Well, I suppose like a testimonial video would be a user-generated content, would you say? They're speaking about service?
Yeah, maybe. It's a bit more difficult for a service-based business.
Yeah.
It's difficult to think about particulars like that, isn't it? I suppose, really. It's just how strong your brand is, though, isn't it, really?
It is, like, and your community.
GoPro have such a great brand around, you know, all these different sports. Same as Red Bull, isn't it? You know, they've latched onto the extreme sports. They've got all of that readily available content there. So, you know, do you have to latch onto something to have that sort of content?
Corona also do this. Theirs is called the hashtag This Is Living campaign. So that captures the essence of living in the moment and enjoying the outdoors. Themes closely align with the company's brand ethos, and they encourage their target audience to post eye-catching photos of beaches, nature, sunsets with the Corona logo in it or a bottle of Corona, and that gets featured across their social media platforms as well. And if you look on their feed, there's actually not a lot of pictures that actually show beer. It's just really nice vibes and sunsets and
just the feels, just the emotions. Before we go into too many other stories, then just quickly, I ran through those different forms at the start. Let's go back through them again. And what do we currently do? So blogging or creating, publishing articles on a website. Tick. Video content. Tick. Social media content.
Tick.
Ebooks and white papers.
Tick.
Infographics.
What's that?
So a description could be creating visual representations of data and information. I kind of feel like...
Yeah, we do that.
We do.
It's post on social media, recommendations,
part of the salary survey
jobs,
stuff. We put out a lot of stuff about that. So yeah. Podcasts.
Tick.
Webinar and online events. No. Email newsletters.
Not newsletters?
We did for a bit, didn't we?
And then it sort of slowed down. You could do it from LinkedIn and all that.
I'm signed up to this really good newsletter. It's every Friday. It's just called Good Fridays, and it's a really different concept, but it's very American based, kind of like tech entrepreneur sort of subject matter almost. And that's like who the group are. But anyway, it's just like interesting conversations via email. So the guy that hosts it, called Sean Puri, he sends out an email to like one of his friends and like mentions something interesting he's seen that they've been doing, or like ask them a question about something that they post, and then it ends up just being a conversation. And I found I get hooked into it all the way through because
they just send out the conversation.
Yeah, so but it's an email trail, but it's like they obviously know that it's going to get sent out, so they put effort into it, and it's like written nicely. There's interesting facts in it, but rather than it just being a newsletter and it just being a long blog and a load of text from one person talking at me as the reader, I'm like dipping into somebody else's conversation, and it's just hooked me. I just read through every one that comes through. I'm right through to the bottom, and it's like the only newsletter I'm signed up to that I actually look out for and be like, I want to read that. So interesting idea. Anyway, case studies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we do case studies per se. Yeah. We do like testimonials, but not necessarily like a case study of.
We have done that. Case study of like a candidate's experience or like a company's experience of that they didn't hire before and what they've done post.
All right, I feel like we could do more of it anyway. User-generated content, no. Interactive content, creating quizzes, polls, calculators. Jeff loves a poll.
Jeff does it.
I do, yeah.
There's actually a really good platform for anyone that is into... it's not necessarily quizzes, but it's do you know Daniel Priestley?
Yeah.
The guy that's everywhere.
Follow him.
He's everywhere on LinkedIn at the moment, but he has a company called Score App, and it
just posts polls, does he?
Well, basically, but it's like it's a way of someone might Google. It's a way of capturing like Google it. Start again. It's a way of capturing people that might be searching for how to lose weight, and then you'll go on. It will land, and it'll be on their website. And this is a really basic example, but you'd land on their website, and it would ask you loads of basic questions about how much food you eat, what your current metrics are, what your activity level's like, what you do for a job, and it give you a really basic sort of fitness plan. And so it's giving you a little bit of value, but to do all of that, you need to give it all of your details. So it's just a really easy way to go on, give a simple bit of information, give your email address, and then they've captured you as a warm lead. So it's just an easy way to collect warm leads, really. I feel like loads of small businesses could utilize that and use that in different ways. What else is there? Influencer marketing.
Sadly not.
We don't do that, but I've got this like kind of idea that I feel like every business can do influencer marketing if they just view their employees as influencers. Like the people that work within the business could just be the influencers of that company. So they could be the person that's out there sort of promoting you, and it's still got a level of authenticity that's above just a faceless company profile posting it, or like a director or a leader of a company posting it.
Maybe that's more user-generated content than influencer.
Yeah, potential.
Influencer is a difficult one, isn't it? Because when you think influencer, you instantly think somebody who's got loads and loads of followers, just, gets paid to chuck bits and bobs up. But you're right, everyone's an influencer who's got a social media account if you've got the right kind of like following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well, I think that some of the most impactful influencers are ones that actually have like smaller followings but much more engaged followings. There's this guy, so there's this guy in North Devon, I can't remember his name, but he does a lot of like home renovation kind of content. And one of my friend's businesses, he featured their product in one of his YouTube videos, and he said they've had like 5 to 10 customers just through that one YouTube video. So that's just one local small-time influencer that's actually had a direct impact on sales.
Yeah.
So there's definitely room for actually using influencer marketing for small businesses, especially in places like here in the Southwest where there's a lot of it's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah.
Final view, visual content, contests and giveaways. Don't do that. Customer testimonials and reviews. So we do that. So we do some good stuff.
Plenty of that.
Good some.
Interesting with the podcasts, as we sit here in a podcast. A couple of stats just about podcasts. Bear with. Here we go. Jeff, you'll know this, but Chris Williamson, so Modern Wisdom. Do you listen to that?
I don't know.
He came out recently and he said that 84% of Modern Wisdom's audience on Spotify discovered the show for the first time this year. And then he also noted that his podcast gained more YouTube subscribers in the last 28 days than it did in its first 3 years of existence.
Why is that?
It's just
compound interest.
My favourite word.
You know about that.
It just takes time, doesn't it? Because they also mentioned that 90% of podcasts don't get past episode 3. Of the remaining 10% of podcasts, 90% don't make it past episode 20. So if you get to 21 episodes, you're in the top 1% of episode producers.
That's us. Pat, so we're in the top 1%.
We're just dragging ourselves through that 20 barrier.
I like it says here, the reality is most people quit when something doesn't work or instantly show results. So I think it's such a long game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's such a good example of what we basically started talking about at the start is, you know, is it more so about like not very regular, infrequent, really good quality posts, or is it in this day and age just a numbers game?
Consistency over time.
Regular posting, regular podcasts, putting stuff up, hoping the algorithm catches some of it.
I think also the only way that you can improve is by being consistent, because then you can actually analyse what's doing well and what's not doing well. Because if you're not posting consistently, then it's not got the same judgment to.
The more you do something as well, the more you learn, don't you? So if you're doing something once a month, you know, yes, maybe the next one will be a lot better because you've got a lot of thinking time. But the more you actually practice something and do something, if you're posting something 2 or 3 times a day, those posts are going to get slightly better every single time you post them, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
Cool.
We happy with that?
Oh, I think that's enough.
We rounded up content marketing.
What's the takeaways?
My takeaway is to do some reactive marketing, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all about reactive marketing, isn't it? Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I think that's the stuff, which is the stuff that is like the most likely and able to go viral.
Yeah.
You know, nobody knows what makes things go viral, do they? I don't think. You know, there's maybe a bit of a formula, but stuff that's really trending, topical stuff that you can attach to your brand, that's where you're going to get sort of the most virality from it.
Yeah.
And consistency over time.
Yeah.
Preach it. Well done.
See you later.
See you next time.
Signing off.